What's up, guys? It's Russ from Backyard Boat Works. So something I wanted to try is, well, I want to try to keep making the content on this channel fresh, but it's really hard to do a project and film it and then edit it, and then, you know, it's hard to find projects that are interesting enough to make a dedicated video on it. So I think what I might try to start doing is just do like a vlog type style video. Still have the you know, the more polished videos where I, you know, detail a specific project, but when I'm at the yard, typically I'm working on little projects that are still interesting but not interesting enough to make one dedicated video for it. So I'm just gonna give it a shot. Drop me a comment down below, let me know what you think of this. But this is gonna be less edited, less polished, more of me just talking to the camera and like detailing kind of like the things that I'm working on. So right now at the yard I have 3 projects going on. One is this whaler here. I've been working on this for a couple months and the customer is not in a rush for it. It's an 11-foot, I think it's a 1970 72, something like that. The boat is actually in really good condition, so I'm doing a full restoration, fixing all the cracks and crazing and all the damaged glass. I actually finished the inside of it already, so now I'm working on the bottom. So I'm going to I put the first coat of primer on it already, as you can see, and this is a high build epoxy primer that I put down, and yesterday I blocked it all out, the first coat, and I just came through with some 3M glazing putty just to fill in some of the pinholes and things. So on my agenda today is to shoot. I'm pretty sure I have the boat faired out and level to where I want it to be. These sides here had a little bit of waviness in it, so I'm going to shoot a coat, one coat of barrier coat on this side and block that out and see how it looks. It might need a little bit more primer to get these sides perfectly smooth, but the bottom, he's not really that worried about it, so I'm not going to do too much work here in the middle anymore. There's some dips and low spots, but it's just the bottom. But like I said, the inside is pretty much all faired out and ready to be painted. So today I'm going to concentrate on just sanding out these little imperfections here that I filled in with the glazing putty, and then probably in the next couple days I'm going to lay the paint. But we're going to use a white polyurethane on the bottom, and then once that's cured, flip it back over, and then I'll paint the inside. So that's one project I'm working on. Another small project I'm working on, this is a close friend of mine's console for a 14-foot rib tender. He wanted to move the steering wheel a little bit over to the left so he could fit a tachometer here. He's doing a repower on his tender, and then this was just some holes that I had to fill. They had some things mounted up here, so we're just cleaning this all up. I already did this over here. This was a hole that was cut for the horn, I think, so filled that in. So just going to be polishing that up, and then this is a Binacle mount that a customer dropped off. So this, you know, a throttle mounts on the top of this, but the throttle that he's using is a little bit, it's a dual engine throttle. So this was a single engine Binacle mount, so we needed to make this a little bit wider so he could fit that. So I just made a couple of these filler pieces in order to cut this in half and spread this out. So yesterday I put some epoxy on this to glue it, this piece to this piece to this piece. So I'm going to take these screws out and then start to work on getting this filled in and also getting this area filled in here. So that's going to be what this vlog is about. So I'll walk you through some of the things on that. I'm not sure how long these videos are going to be, so try to keep them under 10 to 15 minutes. This is already at 5 minutes. So yeah, let me know if you guys like this format, and you know, this might help me to just keep pumping out content. Like I can post something like every day, every couple of days, and just keep things fresh, and then I'll kind of detail the things that I'm working on. So if there's something that you're specifically interested in, you can jump right to that part of the video. So let's get to it. All right, so something I need to fix here is this front bow hook area. So you can see that probably when Boston Whaler made it, they just kind of filled this area in with some compound, but it's all cracking and chipping, and I need to get this so that the hook sits in there flat. So I'm going to grind this out the best that I can, and then I'm going to put some epoxy in there, and I'm going to actually use the eye-ring to form the epoxy, and then I'll show you how I'm going to do that.
So I just put packing tape on the back of that eye hook, and here I'm just filling in this gap with some thickened epoxy, and then I'm gonna put the eye-ring into this and let it dry. I'm not gonna let it dry 100% because then I'd have some trouble pulling it out. So with the packing tape on there, it should come out pretty easily, but I'm gonna let it dry for maybe about an hour and then pull it out. Alright, so while that dries, I'm going to move over to this Binacle mount here, and yesterday I screwed these pieces together, so I'm just going to take these screws out and then start to work on the other pieces. So yesterday I didn't finish these end pieces, so I'm just going to take this little strip of glass and then trim it up to make it fit here at the end. So I just wanted to give this guy a little bit extra to be able to screw his binnacle into because it's pretty heavy. So here I'm using some prefab plate glass to beef up this top section. So now I'm going to use my mini belt sander to fair out this glass here. So as long as I lay the glass just a little proud of my repair area. Usually I can get my repairs almost perfectly fair without using any filler. So you'll see here at the end that I have almost no low spots in this repair.
Is all sanded out, so you can see that I have almost a perfect repair here without using any filler. I try to do all my repairs with just glass and resin and with no filler, because filler has a certain level of shrinkage, and if you have to use a bunch of it, when you put it on there it looks fine, and then you paint, and then after a little while it dips because it will shrink down, and you'll start to see where the repair was made. So I try to avoid using the resin whenever possible. So this here, there's no filler in here, and this is almost perfectly fair. One of my other pet peeves too is when I see people doing console work and they use the DA sander on the edge here, and it puts flat spots in the edge. So I like to come back by hand and just smooth out all the radiuses, so after you lay paint you don't have flat spots and then flat spots in your corners from the machine flattening things out. So I'm just going to use some glazing putty to fill in some of these little low spots, and then this thing, I have to cut some stuff for switches first, and then this will be ready for primer.
Alright, so back over to this eye hook repair. I let this epoxy cure for about an hour or so, maybe an hour and a half, so it's still tacky but not 100% cured. So I'm just going to take it out now so that it doesn't get jammed in there. That epoxy is pretty amazing and I don't want it to get stuck. Alright, came out pretty good. All I really want is the area underneath the eye hook, so where the hook centers itself. So all these side ridges here will get knocked down and then fared smooth into the hull. Alright, so I'm going to wrap up this episode now with just a little high-speed action of me laying down a coat of epoxy barrier coat. So that's going to be it for this first vlog. Hope you guys dug it, and let me know what you think. If you like this format, if I keep doing stuff like this, I'll be able to upload videos like this very often, maybe a couple a week. Thanks guys, see you in the next one.